Of course, there are others. Orin Culture, Maya Tafo are also making waves in men's clothing. In the beauty industry, Tara Fela Durotoye, of course, you know Fela, founder of the House of Tara, and Banke Meshida, BM Pro, stand out as pioneers who have influenced a whole generation of beauty experts and beauty products. They've opened a new vista in bridal makeup, Tara's training of hundreds of beauty experts, and her franchising of the House of Tara has created a new indigenously Nigerian beauty industry. This has created thousands of jobs for beauty experts and retailers. So now we see more ladies with their contours and highlights popping. Elaine Edozian Shobanjo, I'm sure some of us know Shomaya, and Joyce Jacob have also introduced Hollywood glamour to the whole bridal makeup industry in Nigeria. By the way, what celebration today can beat the Nigerian wedding? From the makeup, dresses, to the decor, catering, the cakes, party planning, and photography. A whole new industry has developed around weddings by creative young people, making an otherwise memorable event even more memorable and linking ethnicities across the country in fashion and ceremony. Today, everyone, Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, wear Asoebi. They even call it Asoebi. Their wedding ceremonies are becoming increasingly similar, not just by uniformity that results in the loss of culture or tradition, but by creativity that brings a standard while accentuating tradition and culture. The whole nature of the moderation, yet preservation of the traditional engagement ceremony is such a testament to the depth of thought and creativity of those young Nigerians who are internationalizing our wedding ceremonies. The Nigerian wedding has become so popular that the film Wedding Party was a major international commercial success. But it is perhaps in the literal arts, especially the written and the spoken word, that we see the difficult issues of nation building most poignantly confronted by young people. A new generation of literary torchbearers have emerged. Talents like Chimamanda Adichie, Helen Habila, Teju Cole, Chika Onigwe, Chigozie Obioma, Chibundu Onuzo, Abubakar Ibrahim, Ehosa Emaswen, Ayobami Adebayo, Elnathan John, and many more. And poets. You also have poets like Titi Lokwe Shonuga, D.K. Chukwumerije, picking up the baton from the Soyinkas and the Achebes. Their works expose the complications and solutions to the issues associated with the mentality of persons in the post-colonial state. How a multi-ethnic, multi-religious society how a multi-ethnic and a multi-religious society can thrive and survive, and how the major questions that emerge from all of these records and histories can be used to build a nation. The reflection and introspection from their talents, boldness, their precision, their undiluted expressions and call to action, invoke in all of us exactly what nation building and greatness is made of. They are not timid, and they represent a growing class of sophistication and confidence that confront lingering post-Civil War and even post-colonial aches and pains. They highlight the hypocrisy of ethno-religious barriers often set by the elite for selfish advantage, and they expose the underlying selfishness and failure of statesmanship that exploits fault lines for political and personal benefit. They highlight the cancer of systemic corruption, how it has eaten into the fabric of our society and cost us lives, years, and retrogression. These writers and poets explore, explain, and humanize the difficult issues around social justice, the humiliation and delegitimization that poverty brings, and the failures of the rule of law. In Chimamanda Adichie's Half of a Yellow Sun, one of the main characters is a university professor, and he tells his houseboy the following, and I quote, he said, "There are two answers to the things they will teach you about, and the real answer and the answer that you must give to pass. So there are two answers, the real answer and the answer that you must give to pass. So you must read books and learn both answers. I'll give you two books, the professor said, excellent books. They will teach you that a white man called Mungo Park discovered River Niger. That is rubbish. People fished in the Niger long before Mungo Park's grandfather was born. But in your exam, write that it was Mungo Park. End of quote. This reminds me of one of the proverbs that Chinua Achebe popularized. He said, until the lions have their own historians, the history of the hunt will always glorify the hunter. An affirmation of the truth that nation building is also about storytelling and the importance of telling our own stories and writing our own histories. Anieta Isong, her book is called Radio Sunrise, is a scathing indictment of bribery in the journalism profession. The watchdogs of our democracy are sometimes mere captives of corrupt politicians, and that news and its analysis may often just be paid for. There's no doubt at all from what Anieta Isong says in her book, and also from experience, that grand corruption remains the most enduring threat to our economy. Just to give an example, $3 billion was stolen in what was called the so-called Strategic Alliance contract sometime in 2013. 3 Nigerians were responsible. Today, $3 billion is 1 trillion naira. Our budget, the entire budget, and budgets are estimates, not actual cash, is 7 trillion. So if 3 people made away with 1 trillion, and the entire national budget is 7 trillion, you cannot wonder how come it is that the economy will struggle. When oil in our country was selling for $100 to $114 a barrel, the government then spent 99 billion on transport, and agriculture got 15 billion. And transport got 15 billion, agriculture got 14 billion. All the ministries together, all those ministries mentioned, got 139 billion. Today, with oil prices between 60 and 70, power works and housing can get 415 billion. Transport gets 80. Agriculture gets 65. And the total is 560 billion. How come we can do more with less income? How come we're able to invest in infrastructure? How come we can do the Lagos-Kano standard gauge railway, the Mambila Hydro, the second Niger bridge, with 60% less income that we earned a few years ago? The truth is, just as Isong said, if you control corruption, you can do more with far less. Pt.3, I'm sure some of us know him, reminds us in his powerful poem, The Revolution, that the poem is titled, The Revolution Has No Tribe. The Revolution has no tribe. And that he reminds us that our destinies as Nigerians, no matter our tribe or religion, are inextricably tied together. What affects one affects all. Suffering neither knows tribe nor tongue. He says, and I quote him, do you not know that poverty is not an Ijaw man? He will not spare the rest of us and afflict only the Isha. He will step over the river and come across the border. So when the drums sound, let everybody answer. Do you not know that corruption is not from Nekede? He will not hear that Ife had no dealings with Modakeke. He will wake up all of our children at night with hunger. So when the drums sound, let everyone answer. Do you know that our enemies have no faces? That they are indigents of no state? That they come from no place? And if this boat capsizes, every one of us will go under. So when the drums sound, let everybody answer. Do not say, I am an Iroko when the forest is burning. Do not say, I am an Obeche when the forest is burning. Our differences will not prevent us from perishing together. So when the drums sound, let everybody answer. Nations, that's end of quote.